Today, on another note.
Recently, there's been a launch of a new initiative called 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days.
Local highlight is Tenny Teen.
Talking to your child about sex.
No, that wraps up this hot topic segment.
So we're focusing today's health note on women's health.
So today we're on another flavor. Welcome to On Another Note, where we're not your average talk show, and this is why you're watching. Ladies, how's your week going? What's your plans for the weekend?
Busy, but homework. That's it for now.
Life of a teacher.
Yes.
And you, I know, Kyla, we have so much
One day we will talk about it.
Well, we gonna talk about it
She's
right now.
not ready for it now.
We just gonna put in the plug. You go ahead and subscribe. Such a girl podcast on all your platforms available.
Yes.
The end.
Thank you for that plug.
I did. So we're just gonna go right into it. Recently, there's been a launch of a new initiative called 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days. And it's for just to tackle unemployment in the Virgin Islands.
Indeed.
And then more so the topic is, I didn't really realize that I have so much, not even just unemployment but underemployment, which is like the term underinsured.
Yes.
Right.
So like people are working, but they're not working jobs that are probably in their fields. They're not getting paid. It's part time. It's something that it's just something to pay the minimum bills, but it doesn't really satisfy their career goals, or it just doesn't make ends meet. Like they have multiple jobs just to make a living. And I actually went to the launch, and it was so many young people there between the ages of 18 and maybe 30, let's say. Like I've seen a lot of my peers and persons who were in my age group. They're like the same 18 to 30, and I was shocked. Like they were legit like, give me the paper. I want the pen. And I didn't really remember where some of these people worked.
Right.
So I knew that maybe they don't have a job, or maybe that is
They
an
want
issue.
something better.
So I
as
mean,
well.
what are your thoughts on unemployment, and then what are your thoughts about us even addressing it?
Okay, I'll start. I think that we have a lot of persons who are not qualified. That could be an issue, and the jobs that they can do, they don't want to do. So the available jobs, we have persons coming from other countries willing to do those jobs, and that is one of the points that I think why all these young people are there, because they want to automatically go in the office, or they want to automatically get a certain salary, and that doesn't happen overnight. I mean, right now I can say I don't get paid for my degree, and you need a lot of experience, and the way we live here in the BVI, a lot of persons don't get paid for their degree, and that's a reality that we all come to when we begin to work.
Yeah, but they
have a
tell us to
question.
keep going to go get these degrees. So it's like you have not to cut you off,
No, that's okay.
but you have a generation where it was like they worked hard and worked their way up from the ground up, and then their kids now, because they work so hard, they don't want their kids to work as hard, but they tell them that education is key, to go to school.
Well, it is the key.
Get your degrees, and then you come home and you get these degrees that wherever you come from. I mean, wherever you got the degree, they're telling you, yes, this is your minimum salary.
Right, so that was my question.
And then you come home and it's like way below the average.
The
Do
average.
we have a pay scale in the BVI? Do we have
do.
standards and
We do.
what a certain
standards for
career?
government.
Right.
Yeah, government workers have a.
That's government, but I mean the overall BVI.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
I'm not aware of
that.
any.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it starts.
That's another issue.
Because I feel like as a young, you were talking about underemployment. So this isn't necessarily unemployment, but I think that as a young person, you don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
you
Yes.
know?
I would say this is my last one, and I'll give you a turn. Another issue can be the retirement. A lot of persons are retired, quote unquote,
And they don't go home.
and they don't go home.
They get called back.
So then they get called back,
come
and
in as
that's
a
a job.
consultant.
And then it's
This is
like
the last year for
So
10 years.
so you're saying that the persons who are retired, who should be home, are holding up the job.
holding up some of the jobs, and I feel some companies are scared to give the younger generation an opportunity to be in charge.
I love how you say that. One of the things I have to say, being an employer myself, it kind of put me into perspective. When you think of the job that's available, sometimes the simplest thing that you are asking the individual to do, which is customer service,
That's a
is
big
a
one.
challenge for persons. I'm not saying that it's for everybody, it's a problem for everybody, but I'm saying sometimes people feel that even it doesn't matter what the job is, they feel like I went to school, I have this knowledge, I can do the work, but it's not just about your training. It is about bringing that company customers, if that's the kind of business that they're in. And so sometimes some of those persons might not want to break who they are. That's not something I would do. I ain't doing that and this and that kind of way.
I think
so sometimes that creates a barrier for them. Because I find that even though we're a country that saw, we boast on tourism and so on, if you walk into the average shop, the average business place, you're not welcomed as if you are in a tourism-based country. It is welcome, whatever.
But is it a
company.
lack of training?
Yes, ma'am, and that's exactly where I am
it can
going.
be motivation.
That is a point as well.
I think it comes down to people pride. Because we have so much, it has so much training. Tourist board has so much DECA training all year long. They focus on more training than doing their actual tourism. I find every 2 minutes there's a police tour, a training, a teacher training, a communication training, a
taking those
disaster
training.
training.
When you think of it, it's persons who are already in jobs who are making themselves better. There are a few programs that are there for the unemployed, like the labor department. They have their situation. I don't know how they do their training. There's a choice company after you where you can actually pay them to train you. Sometimes when, especially like those persons who are sitting in that 500 that 500 line for unemployment, you finish high school. It's not just your diploma that gets you a job.
Definitely.
You have to change your posture and be ready to be employed.
Right.
You cannot show up to a person's workplace in jean pants and some t-shirt and be like, you want the job to be what front desk staff or whatever. What else what did you learn about me because like so you have to understand that you have to have a personality that transcends any application you put through. So I feel like even though we have this high unemployment rate, there's something that should be happening at the same time while we do this 1,000 jobs in 100 days. Also put a platform in place to show people how to operate on jobs,
Right.
how to prepare for an interview.
I think they're doing that though. I think after the launch they have a whole calendar of events that's teaching them how to dress. Right.
They did it already.
I taught them how to dress for the
that's good. I
interview.
like
The do's and don'ts, how to prepare for an interview, how to do resume building, etc., etc. So I mean, it wasn't just like a launch and sign up, but they're doing something to build them up a bit. But I want to go back to my point about pride because I remember going to college and I went to HBCU in Atlanta, and Atlanta is like the mecca of HBCUs, a historically black college or university. And there it's like you're meeting all types of persons from all ethnicities, but the common goal is that we're all melanated in some way. But the pride that they instill in you, like you have shy people, you have boisterous people, you have big, small, whatever. You have so much, like a variety of people. But at the end of the day, these HBCUs instill this pride in you that you are the best, you are the top, you are, you need to do it, you need to go after it, you need to fight for it. If you don't think it's yours, then you need to figure out a way. My school motto was find a way or make one. Everything, if you are down and out, you know how you're paying for tuition. It was like find a way or make one, call somebody who knows somebody, and people used to be down and out, legit living in cars, doing the weirdest things. But at the end of the day, if you had somebody who reminded you of the school motto, which was find a way or make one, we used to find a way or make one. And I think some of that is lacking from that younger generation. I don't know if they actually go off to school. I don't know if they just do maybe like the associates and then they just stay home. But I think traveling abroad at some point helps.
Your mind.
It opens your broadens your horizons.
Not only that, whether you stay or you travel, say even if you're going to the college, you can afford to get a little job, part-time job, for example.
Yes.
That will let you get some experience and let you see if you are really in the right path. And I'll say this from personal experience. I thought I wanted to be an accountant. that was my
had that
thing.
dream too.
And I was working while going to college, and I realized I can't do this all the time. So I changed my major, and I said I wanted to teach because I love kids, and it was something math. I always loved numbers. So while going to university, I tutored. It was a little bit of experience for me as well. So don't just say I'm going to college, you can't do anything else. You can try. Now I'm not saying it's gonna be easy for everyone to get a little part-time something, but be prepared to start from the bottom. You cannot just start to
I
work
like that.
and expect to get a sorting. You start as a receptionist if you go in the office, and then you move on up. Be a waitress, you can be a bartender. These are skills, customer service that
And
you
ain't
can
nothing, wrong,
get.
ain't nothing wrong with these jobs because they get high tips, they
Yes.
make gratuity,
But
and
be
people
open.
low key.
But what I'm hearing from all of us is that just be open to experiences because you might be a waitress and you might actually like the industry, and
There are
then that
people
might
who
take
do.
you on to doing something more.
I like the
so
cracks.
yeah.
I like
So just
the
be
tips.
open. So just be open to experiences and learning. You might do something not like it. Okay, well that's just not for me.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Do it something else, and okay, I actually like that.
You
and
wouldn't
then
know
that might
unless you
lead
try.
exactly.
And even if you're already going to HLSCC, I think they have some opportunities there for like part-time jobs and stuff. You just have to present
Yes, like
yourself.
the
Bookstore, you
Yeah.
could be a PA, a teacher,
in the
assistant,
lounge,
a
something
TA.
with the student center, they have jobs there as well. You can try
I mean,
something.
I think that we need to more tell our I used to say children because my child is so old, but we need to tell the younger generation to not be afraid. I don't know if maybe they feel that, oh, I don't want to be no waiter because then their friends show up to eat and they maybe be the waiter
I think
or
that's
the
one
waitress.
factor.
So maybe they're ashamed. It's like a shame come with certain jobs, and that's why they maybe feel like they're
shouldn't be
above
that
the
way.
jobs.
I
But-
think another thing we have to think about too is, I mean, we live in a country where I want to just mention where when the electronic age, things happen.
Oh, yeah.
We're evolving. There's a moment in a BVI lander's life where they feel sometimes entitled.
Yes.
So if you
Very
do
true.
That's a whole
get a
different
job, do not go to the work environment with the posture, I got this job because I'm from here, or I'm not doing that because you
cleaning up
didn't pay me for
actually.
that, or you didn't. That's not a part of my job description. Sometimes that moment where you mentioned where you gotta start from the beginning, it gives your employer some insight to know that okay, I hired this person as a receptionist,
But they're willing to do more.
but they
Yes.
have other skill sets and they can then draw on those strengths.
Definitely.
You have to get in the door and you have to humble yourself. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not definitely not about you actually coming into the workplace, getting to exactly what you want to
Right.
be from day one. You want to be an accountant and then you want to get into the bookkeepings of the company from day
No,
one. That's not the
slowly.
case. Show initiative. When you get in there, say, hey, you know what? I can actually help you with this because I have a strength with that. So you show your strength to the employer and they will be able to advance you
Yes.
within the company, give you scholarships, these kind of stuff. So I feel like for us, it's mindset that runs everything sometimes.
Yeah, I completely agree. So on that note, if you haven't applied and you need a job, please go ahead and call them up, government 4943701, and ask for where can I sign up for a job. And we'll be back
have so many
after
platforms
these
out.
Yes.
messages. Yep.
Local highlight is Tenny Teen.
Talking to your child about sex.
No, that wraps up this hot topic segment.
So we're focusing today's health note on women's health.
So today we're on another flavor.
Creative Arts Branding Specialist specializes in visual communication through branding. With over a decade of experience and service, Creative Arts Branding Specialist is the trendsetter in the graphic and printing industry. Our talented branding specialists provide a multifaceted approach to various design concepts, resulting in customized products and services to ensure customer satisfaction. For quality, professional, and durable products such as acrylic signs, backdrops, banners, billboard designs, custom apparel, custom designs, decals and stickers, logos, posters and flyers, electric and lighted signs, window and glass application, and so much more. Visit us at Sugar Mill Road or call us on 284 542-2731 or email us at creativearts@gmail.com. That's CRE8TIVE arts BVI@gmail.com.
At Horizon Catering, we deliver the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services. We know how important catering is to your event, so we cut no corners to ensure a satisfying and memorable event. We can turn your next event from the ordinary to the extraordinary. For the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services, call Horizon Catering at 284-499-2132 or 499-2142.
Your office space is a reflection of your company brand. That's why at KDL Designs, our clients are the inspiration for every space we design. In addition to our exceptional architectural work, KDL Designs offers clean, innovative, and functional interior design for both private and public sector businesses. A KDL design expert will work with you to choose the right colors, lighting, floor layouts, fittings, and fixtures that will enhance all aspects of your space, giving you a modern workspace built for productivity. And with our impressive selection of furniture, flooring, glass, and steel rails, you're sure to achieve that wow factor at the most reasonable price. To learn more, visit kdldesigns.com or call us for a consultation today at 284-545-9933. KDL Designs, where dreams are housed.
Welcome back to On Another Note, guys. So today, local highlight is Tenny Teens. With Miss Tanika DeCastro.
Philip.
Amazing. Yes, Phillips. Let's not forget that. But Tenny Tees was started in 2017. And Tanika was just trying to find a way to express herself. As a grieving widow, she wanted to find a way to express herself without using words, without being vocal. So this was her way. I think that's pretty smart. Yeah, it's pretty smart. What the motto for your school?
Find a way to make one.
You see, she made a way. Okay. But her first shirt was, the quote on the shirt was, "I can't adult today. Tomorrow doesn't look good either." I think we all can
I got me
relate.
one of those.
I think we can all relate to that
Yeah,
one.
definitely those moments.
Yeah, so she printed that shirt and got great feedback. And now she's going on to doing bigger and more awesome things. Some of our tumblers.
Wow.
Also,
Yeah. See, I didn't know
Take a
that.
drink.
I didn't know that.
So she does custom t-shirts, tumblers, mugs, wine glasses. Does it all. And so
And we have those wine glasses here too.
Yeah, so if you did see our wine glasses on episodes before, that also came from Tenny Tees.
Lovely.
And she's a teacher.
Look
you bigging up on
Yes, she's a science teacher, so you can do more than
Yes,
one.
so if you want any personalized items to push your brand, make sure you reach out to Miss Tanika DeCastro at 441-1433. I'll say that again, area code 284-441-1433.
Yeah, Tanika. Boop, 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 boop. While we're bigging up all our local entrepreneurs, let's give a little special sponsor plug to our lovely sponsors. Anyways, yeah, wardrobe specialist. That's a better.
I like that because I always feel very fabulous, and today I am in beautiful by Daphne. Hello,
That color
This is like
really
it's a
nice on
coral.
amazing on your skin
I am
tone.
feeling myself
Yes,
today.
it's very
Thank you, beautiful by Jasmine.
Accessories by
Yes,
She
by
Likes.
VI.
And let's give it up for Umi with all this stuff for the plush girl.
Over here.
as well.
Can you tell? I mean, the coordination.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing. Amazing.
So make sure you hit them up for all your fashion needs all year long, and
Don't
they're
forget
available.
me.
But I mean,
Also,
I'm sorry, Miss Melanin Diva over here in her
thank you very
blue
much.
and gold. Yes, she likes accessories as well, right?
Yes, and Beautiful by Jasmine.
Beautiful by
by
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
So if you didn't know where they are, I mean, what's Google there for, Lord Jesus? Help yourself. But all the information will be below. On that note, we'll just go on ahead into a Latin hot topic. Diva, oh yeah, over there.
Yes.
Yes.
She always
talk.
brings the fire.
Yes, this is the best segment, by the way. So get it right into it.
You're going to?
I like hot
But
topics.
okay.
I like hot.
Okay, it's always
Hit it.
me, so
Give
I'll
it to us. Give
you.
it to us.
Okay, so now talking to your child about sex.
No. Coca. That's it. Cut. That
How
wraps up this hot
soon?
topic segment.
Yeah.
We're going to something else.
How soon is too soon, guys? Now, I read something that I really want to share because I was like, really? This doctor, Google his name, I can't remember. He mentioned that we should talk to our kids about sex from birth.
That's fine. What type of sex? This is the misconception.
organs?
Yes. Like sex as in the organs, sex where the babies come from, or sex like if you have the part and he has the part and you want to do something and I'm going to shoot you. Don't do that part.
He actually has like an age span, like from birth to 2 years, what you should talk about, and from 2 to 5, what you should talk about, and it opened up my mind because some of the suggestions that he made, I am not doing, so I will make a few changes. For example, I have a toddler, Adri does too. We should let them know the names, the real names for their genitals.
Absolutely.
So the real name, ladies have a vagina and boys have a penis.
I like how we always say.
And we feel weird saying it.
Like we're so delicate to vagina. And in my house it's a Kit Kat though.
So we tend to teach them different names, and then as they pass that 5-year span, notice kids might ask you, how did the baby got in there, or where do babies come from? We need to start teaching them simple techniques. They need to know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. It's not like you just want to tell them a man and a woman lay down and this happened. No, as the age is when you tell them slowly.
No, but I think we as adults, I don't have kids, so just put that out there. But I think we as adults, we're thinking about it from our minds. We're sexualizing it. Like they're just really curious. Like, you have the same thing as me. Where did they're not thinking about nothing else.
Nope.
We who put it in their heads that, oh, that's vulgar or that's, and then when they see us hiding, it's like, oh, okay, then that's when. Yeah.
We need to teach them the right thing. No, you live with a teenager. What are some things you can probably ask him? No, you need to talk to them about sexually active, what they should do, what they should not do.
You just put condoms under the pillow like a tooth fairy.
I don't look good. I look good in coral, but I don't look good in orange to end up in prison for taking out my son. But I just want to say that a lot of times we just have to be comfortable with the word sex. So you have to, especially for
It starts
teens,
at home.
Yeah, for teens, I think you have to be, how to put it, frank. Just be outright frank. Like, people have sex and then they get pregnant. These are things you use for protection. Not that you're telling your children that they should go ahead, but you want to make sure they are aware of the consequences of having unprotected sex, which is pregnancy, which is STDs, and all these things. Because especially at him being a teen, there's something that go on in some of these high schools that is just
you don't
not,
tell them,
it's just
somebody else will.
unbecoming.
They're not gonna know.
Exactly, and they just, you need your child to feel open enough to come home to you and say that this is something I saw so and so and this person participating in the bathroom.
And you kill them.
But I mean, not him, but I'm just saying he needs to feel comfortable enough to know that
To
that
come
is
and tell you,
wrong,
right?
and to also
He should know.
to tell me.
Yes.
But be open with the fact that you have a penis. You are going to you're going to ejaculate. You say words like wet dream. Hello. So then he gets surprised. He has to know what's supposed
They
to
need
happen
to know.
at different ages. So I mean that's
Adriana.
No, my daughter, I was watching a
you
movie.
have a girl. Well, I had to the dirty
And
talk from you.
I thought she was watching her iPad, but she was watching the movie with me. And she was like, ew, that's nasty. The two persons were kissing, a woman and a man. And she was like, Mommy, who should I kiss in their mouth? And then I was like, oh, geez, here we go. But I kiss in her mouth sometimes. And I said, Daddy might kiss you in your mouth. some family members, I don't too agree with that, but I said if you kiss a friend, they should kiss you on your cheeks. So certain stuff I tell her, these are for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Children don't do that. They get curious, they want to know, and we need to tell them because they're gonna hear it.
Exactly. They're gonna hear it. They're gonna see it. They're not with you all the time, so it's better for them to hear it from you.
Yeah, they need to know the good touch, the bad touch.
Exactly.
And to speak up.
I really feel like at the point, for example, having a teen, it should be. This question was brought up on the Miss BBI show where they were asking if you should educate the children in school and at what point. And I do feel that. I mean, in primary school, you usually have sexual education in terms of the parts.
Yes,
you know,
like
the sexual organs.
But I wanted like a sex ed
But
class.
you need one in high school. You need one. That is my true
but
feeling.
there's life skills.
Primary school too.
Life skills teach them a few things, but it's not just like a sex class. And from my experience in the UK, they actually have this type of class for females. In terms of giving birth, in terms of taking care of your body, they actually have this for females. It's elective though, but I find it's so much information you need to know because if you're a single parent, let's say you're a man and you have a daughter, and then her boobs start to grow, she gets a period, the hairs, like you need to teach them. Sometimes at the high school level, you will start to say,
To me, high school is too late. Yeah, high school is too late.
They need to know from
That's primary school stuff.
I feel it starts from like class 4 at least. They can start knowing more.
Like, tell me you all are not having the conversations with cousins or siblings or younger children. Like, I'm having a conversation with my child. As you wake up, you go bathe, you brush your teeth.
Then, yes.
Okay, it's getting to a point where it's summertime, it's really, really hot. So, okay, not deodorant, but then she would need a little extra powder because when they run around and come back, they smelling like somebody's gym shoe.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's all a part of puberty, and that's all a part of sex and sexual health or sexual education. So why should I shun her away and say, well, don't do these things? Or, you know, like, you're going to be around your dad and other relatives, and you're going to see a distinction. Who have hair, who don't have hair, and where's the hair. I have to let my child know what's the real deal. And I don't even sugarcoat. Like, I literally watch a birth. Like somebody gave birth in a big
I don't
pool.
like to see that.
I never see this child light up so much. She said, I want to watch it again. So the baby coming out the hot cat, and I'm like, yep. No, she was like, yeah, I come out no more cat. Well, I mean, she knows what it is, and if the term cat makes her comfortable around us, that's fine. But I mean, as she goes into another school, big school, we're gonna learn that vagina and penis is the term, and when is the good and bad touch. We already know that.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying for her to be comfortable. I don't really want her to be. She's already a loud person because who she from. So I don't need her to be screaming vagina and penis. Like,
do it.
I'd rather her say cat and everybody. Who? What is that? A cat is around? Meow.
But back to the course thing, I do feel that it is necessary in school to have a sexual education course, and it doesn't have to be a unisex course. You could separate it in terms of the women, the females, and the males.
I like that.
Okay, so you will be able to focus on what the men need because their needs are not the
rubbing
same.
up on each other.
Yeah, and also children are silly sometimes because they will be giggling. Oh my God, she said penis 2 times.
They do
You know, it's not about that. Oh my God, like
They do it.
Me, I don't want to talk to. You know, and girls, they might be liking in the same room, watching them cuss. So you just separate the class, but it shouldn't be taboo. We should stop treating sex like it's taboo because what's happening is these young people are going out there and they're doing foolishness with their bodies and not practicing safe sex because they don't know. An adult male who might be attracted to a younger teenage girl can warp her mind into whatever. Don't worry about it. I only love you. I've been with just one person.
And I was like,
we don't need to use a condom. She should be empowered to understand, one, you shouldn't do it in the first place if you have a responsible parent. But we have to take the point that a lot of children are more exposed than others.
Yes.
So because of their environment. So at the end of the day, this course will empower young persons to make the healthy choice for themselves. So somebody wouldn't just walk up to your teen and say, let's just do it because I love you.
Yeah. Especially if it's a sheltered, like, okay, you're protecting your child from all of the the secular
things in the
world,
world.
and then they go out into the world and they can't really function because
Nothing sugarcoated.
so everything just sounds so good and juicy. Like, yeah, you want to do what to me? You love me. It's like, I love you.
wow.
But
That love
you know,
thing.
And not only that, like with social media now, these kids had to love you. You need to send me a picture, and
it's not even love
happening a
anymore.
lot.
Like, sex is like almost like recess. You know, like it's just
like
something to
nothing.
do because they're curious, and then once they realize all the other extra fun feelings attached to it, it's like, oh well, you know, I done read she and I done read she who she is, so they done tap off she and
It makes them popular,
and they like that. Yeah, there's so much stigmatism to the boys and the girls. Then I don't see the thing wrong with teaching them from right away to know what's what.
And it gives them, to me, it also gives you an opportunity. I know teachers, you guys get a lot of pressure, but sometimes parents just don't know. And it gives you, the teacher, the opportunity to let the child or the teenager know you have the power to choose to wait.
Yes.
But if you don't empower them with knowledge, then they would trust the person who might be giving them information that may not be true.
I agree, but I think back to what you were saying, like teachers have so many responsibilities. Like, I think like everything we want to be taught in school, like yes, the scientific means of it, okay, you might want that to come out in a very educational setting, but parents need to do more. And for parents to say you don't know, like we need to give more responsibilities to parents. Like if you have a girl, you should Google, do something.
And like even though we don't have a class just for sex, me as a teacher, and I'm sure a lot of other teachers do it, we talk about it. I see boys talking to he, she, Mary, everybody else, and I tell them. So we just need to work as a community as well. And when you see girls sitting assaulting, where you see signs, just talk to them and before it gets too
and
late.
just to know that while encouraging it to be in schools, your parents are assets. There's some parents who would talk, like you have a parent who would talk, ask Dr. Penn, Dr. Hesketh Vanterpool, there's the other, there's like 3 Dr. There's so many doctors in the community who have
they'll be better
children.
to help you
just
talk
reach
to them.
out to them and say, hey, can you come talk to our students or males about sex? Like sometimes it's just you saying something. Some of them, the doctors or the clinicians, nurses, they may not just be willing to just come to you and say, I want to teach this. But if it is a need, don't shy away from it. I think there are so many other persons in the community willing that this sex talk needs to be
like it needs to
addressed.
happen in church. Like don't shy away from it because church is like, no, it's the Lord's house, no penis vagina talk
I
here.
think some
Like,
of the churches are doing better. They have like last time there was a big men empowerment movement at the King Garden Bay
I
Baptist
remember
Church,
that.
and they had Dr. Pickering there, Dr. Harlan Vanterpool. So churches are doing it, but the school just ask us. I mean, we're there, we're willing to talk. But this is great that I had the final word because it's time for our health note. Don't you guys get excited when I start talking like scientific? I just
put in my little
want
plug. Like I literally, you know, the grandma story of I guess when the child reached a certain age up until high school, ending of high school, the grandmother always made the breakfast smoothie for the granddaughter to go to school. And then when she graduated, it was like a relief. But she was putting birth control pills She was putting birth control pills in the smoothie.
that's kind of deep.
Right. Like she wasn't having a conversation, but she was doing preventative. And she was like, "It's okay, I will
Just drink up.
drink your smoothie. I forgot your smoothie today."
That's interesting. All right. So we're focusing today's health note on women's health. All right. I will ask how many of us in the audience included who've had an irregular period. We know this is popular among women, right? Some women just lose a period because they're stressed out. Some women lose a period because they're pregnant, miscarry. There's so many different ways that you can miss your period. But it is the heralding sign for a lot of women who suffer with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Do you guys know of this? You've heard of it? PCOS. Tell me what you know about PCOS, Adri.
when your estrogen goes down and your testosterone goes up, and then you get hair or you don't need it, and then you get base where you don't need it, and then you base.
Your voice.
Oh my God!
I didn't know about that part.
I read something, but it was really, it was like, it wasn't really from PCOS. It was more of when women give birth, a lot of things change, and their
balances.
But there's some who don't
cords.
give birth, and that happens to as well.
Oh, well then, like people who smoke cigarettes too, their voices, they're like, their voices. But that thing, yeah.
But okay, I like what you're saying
And then
about
the
the
periods become
androgens.
irregular because then it's harder. Like, isn't it like these polyps or polyps?
Cysts.
The cysts.
So essentially what's happening when you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, there's an intense hormonal war technically going on inside of your body. A lot of times there's elevated androgens. You mentioned that when you talk about the testosterone, so those are male hormones. And essentially you also have elevated insulin. Now, we must have approached insulin before when I talked about diabetes. And it's one of those really necessary hormones to get sugar, which gives us energy, into a cell. And a lot of times those cells are resistant to insulin. So we find that people who have polycystic ovarian syndrome, they also have a little bit elevated or resistance to the insulin. And what happens is that is a growth kind of hormone. So it actually stimulates your other hormones to start being overproduced. So that's how your androgens, they then increase, right? And then on your ovaries, you were right when you said about these little things around on your ovaries, you have multiple little fluid-filled little sacs. We call them follicles. And in truth, every woman should have at least 1 to 2 cysts every month as their cycle goes on, because you're supposed to ovulate, right? On maybe about the 11th to the 14th day of your cycle, you're supposed to release that egg, and then you're prepared for pregnancy. In the case of polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's like thousands of those little eggs are set up, but it's like a false warning that you're going to ovulate, and they're never released. Which is why infertility is one of the biggest issues of polycystic ovarian syndrome. So when people are diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome from young, they're just like, some of them, when I meet them, they're really happy. Oh, doc, I haven't had my period for a whole year. Thank God. You know, because you're not buying any pads, you don't feel messy. But really, this means something really important to you, because now when you're getting ready to be fertile and get pregnant, and then you get to all of those challenging moments where,
hard.
exactly, so this is where the devastation starts after. So I want to bring up the topic because I'm finding that I'm encountering younger and younger women with polycystic ovarian changes. These, oftentimes you mention about the hair. So if you can imagine a woman having ingrown hairs like a beard, so that is one of the androgen type or testosterone type responses. Some women even lose their hair. That's my next popular reason for seeing someone with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And then acne. And these are all hormonal or more so testosterone driven type things. So I would say one of the things that women who are losing them or missing their period, what they should do is just be hypervigilant. There are a few things that we could do quickly. One, we could do a test to check your hormonal levels, check your male hormones. We also definitely do an ultrasound. Do an ultrasound to check your ovaries, see where they are, because sometimes you may have 1 or 2, which is okay. But if you notice that you have multiple, then that may be all the signs of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And then you can use different medications to slow down that process, like metformin is a popular one. Right? So one of the things that we need to make sure of is just check your body. So if you have an irregular period, it doesn't just mean this is period vacation, essentially, right? So anybody know, you guys know anything in terms of, or anyone with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or with the challenges? Because the challenges vary depending on who you meet and at what point you meet them.
I know someone I don't know if she has that or had that, but she wasn't seeing her period for a few months, and then she wanted to get a child, so she started going to a doctor, and a few months later she started seeing her period, and then she got pregnant.
Oh, she's one of the blessed
So
ones.
she was one, but I know of another one, which I don't know if it's the same Tom, but she has been trying to see her period. It stopped for like 3 years, and this is when she was like, oops, I should check it out. And I guess because she took so long,
Yeah.
now she has been trying to get pregnant, and it's just impossible.
And that's a point that's an important point, because when you've had polycystic ovarian syndrome for a long time, those hormonal changes, remember I told you you're resistant to insulin, you have high levels of androgen or male hormones in your blood. We just mentioned the word diabetes mellitus, which is diabetes and insulin go hand in hand. So essentially you can see how polycystic ovarian syndrome carries that risk of diabetes later on.
I have a question.
Especially if you gain a lot of weight.
Yep. Can you have that even though you're seeing your period? Because there are cases where women are seeing their periods but they can't get pregnant.
You surely can, because the issue is not necessarily amenorrhea, which means no period at all. It is irregular menses. That means you can have very frequent periods, like shorter, or you can have you have long gaps between your period, but then when you do get your period, you bleed for more than 35 days. Like you get you get irregular periods. So what's important with responding to that question is whether that person is ovulating or not, and it seems that person is not ovulating.
So a doctor would be able to tell whether she's ovulating or not.
Absolutely, because we have a few tests that we can do. Usually it's we do a female panel, and it tells us your estrogen levels, your progesterone levels. We check your testosterone, we check your DHEA, which is a derivative of your testosterone, and we look at that as it relates to your last menstrual period, and then we look at the waves that are usual when you're supposed to ovulate for each of those, and we can tell you, oh, you're not ovulating, or that kind of way, or you're in what different phases of your menstrual cycle. So it's good to just make sure you check, ask the question. And when women have a lot of hairs on their face, it is not a normal thing. Yes, as you get older, you may get 1 and 2. But if you realize that you have a full-on beard, more than 10 hairs on your chin, around the chest, on the nipples, you are more than likely having some hormonal... Yes! Yeah, you're more than likely having some hormonal changes, and it's not a bad idea for you to just go ahead and get it checked and get that negative. Some persons who have already finished their family, like they had their children already, and then they develop polycystic ovarian syndrome after, they don't really care.
Let the baby go.
But if you are younger, staying in control of it is important, because then you know that you have to stay in control of your weight, because weight worsens the whole issue. Because after your risk of being increased to get diabetes, you also increase the risk of heart disease. Because once you're diagnosed with diabetes, then your cholesterol level increases, block up small vessels, your heart is under a lot of pressure. So the risk just continues to increase. So just leaving it there because it's a fun moment to not have a period for months is not a good idea. Yeah?
All right.
That's what I got for you guys today.
I like that.
I know with PCOS, I follow a couple of people on Instagram, and I guess maybe you're right, like, with the weight contributes to a lot of the other symptoms that they get, and when they lose the weight, then the symptoms go away, they're able to get pregnant, blah blah blah, and then when they gain it back to square one, no period, no pregnancy, lots of hair, or not just the hair, but all that other
lose hair,
they're moody, etc. But then that goes back to certain people saying certain diets work better with persons who have that diagnosis. And I know the keto.
I read that the
keto diet assists with that, even though persons are like, how can meat and fat contribute to someone losing weight and or help with their if they're on the brink of diabetes, or help them to just maybe get rid of it, eliminate it. But I've seen it. I've seen it help people get pregnant, and I've seen it help people lose a ton of weight, and that diagnosis of PCOS that they said they would never be able to have children, they have 2 and 3 children, and then they're slim and trim afterwards.
That's because nobody could really say what causes PCOS. Is it a diet in the first place? We're not sure, and nobody can really link some genetic factor to it to say that you inherited this gene. It's really unknown. So I think definitely diet is something that maybe some people need to do. Maybe there's some studies going on about it, but it's something to look into, because a lot of times, I mean, per capita, I feel we do have a lot of PCOS.
I think so
in
too.
the BVI.
I think so too. Like I went to the
wonder,
doctor.
Is it something we're doing? What's
we're eating?
I don't know.
All those, a lot of the symptoms
so
that you were calling out, I know I had them personally. TMI. But then I was like, maybe I should go to the doctor. And I went for my checkup, and I spoke to my doctor, and I was like, okay, so these are the symptoms I have. And I know there's this thing called PCOS. Do I have it? Right. Or am I on the brink of it? And he was like, well, not really, because this is something that people normally get when they're younger, and then they grow into it, and you know, it probably gets worse, etc., etc. He's like, you don't have a history of it, so then how could you just pop up with it? But I said, sir, I have things that shouldn't be there. I'm moody, and I mean, my periods are irregular. Like since I've given birth, they are on the plank of craziness. 1 month is yes, 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 stop, and then it's just a whole month of a war going on, and I'm like, just drown me. So
I'm very regular.
That's why I asked, and I mean, we took all the tests. I'm negligent. I haven't gone back for any results. They called me with they took 4 tests. They called me with the one result. They were like, everything's fine with this. I was like, oh great, I ain't coming back right now, because I'm so busy. And
that's
just to find the time,
we get busy, and then we.
But I'm gonna go
health
this week.
Is wealth, so
I'm gonna go this week and get my results.
Yeah.
But I have friends too. I have friends that have no children and they want to have children, and it's really hard listening to them.
And the longer you take,
and they're getting older, and it's like they're 29, they're 30, they're 31, and they really want children. And not even like to say married, but they really want children, or to know that they can have children. I know of friends who've already had like cysts that had to remove, you know, a whole ovary or whatever.
I was just about to say that, you know, remember infertility, there are so many different causes. I mean, polycystic ovarian syndrome is just one of the most popular reasons why. But other persons can be infertile for other reasons as well. So, and that's something that only your doctor, your gynecologist specifically, and you can figure out, because everybody's different. And there's this notion about having this very subtle or low grade kind of inflammation going on in your body. You probably have heard a lot of persons talk about the value of using turmeric in teas and in your foods and so on, to kind of get that low grade inflammation out of your system, and that actually affects some persons with their fertility as well.
Yeah, so on that note, persons need to go, especially women. Women, we need to go
just do your checkup.
Rally up and go to the doctor. Don't be like me. I mean, I'm terrible. But go and get checkups, because people are afraid sometimes. People are afraid of like the worst diagnosis. So they're like, okay, I ain't going to the doctor at all. I good, I can walk, I can talk.
Early detection
but
is amazing.
You don't know what's going on in your body. It could be a war going on, and if you could find out early enough, then you could just eliminate whatever future problems that could possibly be ahead. So we're gonna take a little short break, and we'll be back with all the flavors.
Advertise It BVI specializes in visual advertisement, specifically outdoor marketing and graphic designing, strategically located to attract motorists and pedestrians alike. At Advertise It BVI, we've been proudly serving the British Virgin Islands for over a decade, providing competitive pricing and customer satisfaction. When you advertise with Advertise It BVI, you never have to compromise on quality. With 9 locations throughout the British Virgin Islands, 18 billboard advertising opportunities. Contact Advertise It BVI Media Specialist today for all your visual advertising needs at 284-499-6969 or email us at advertiseitbvi@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.advertiseitbvi.com.
At Blossoms, Our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, or super yacht. You can also find a wide variety of silk and dried flower designs, fresh cut flowers, local flowers, tropical blooms, fruit and gourmet baskets, chocolates, balloons, both helium and air-filled, various gift items, and an assortment of plush animals. With a floral experience spanning over 28 years, we have earned a reputation for excellence both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Welcome back to On Another Note. We spoke a lot today about a whole, unemployment, health for her.
Topics get a little bit intense in here.
Very intense, practically emotional. Like we're over here with notepads in our heads, like, I'm gonna do this after the show. And don't forget, if you do have your opinions, reviews, comment,
or questions,
subscribe. Let us know what you want to talk about. If you want to talk more about PCOS or any other topic, unemployment, details about our sponsors or entrepreneurs or highlights, let us know and we can point you in the right direction. Yes. So today we're on another flavor or another flavor.
See how she renamed it?
Yes, another flavor. We going in. This is brought to you by Caribbean Cellars, so big ups to them. And we have Pierre Marcel, a sweet white with truly fruity flavor wine, right? So ladies, I want you to smell it because this smell is like really good.
Really fruity.
It's very fruity.
Can we drink now?
Comparison
I want to be a wine connoisseur, so I need to remember.
Yes, it has. If you look at it, it offers a pale yellow color because it's a white wine. Intense, bright, fine, with the aromas of grapes and ripe apricots. Yes, so it's an apricot wine. The palate is around a creamy, full, has good length and intense notes of yellow fruit. So we're just gonna go ahead and taste it. Cheers. Cheers.
I was definitely on she was like
there. Let's go.
I'm with you. I was there already.
Now this I like.
I like this. I taste the apricot in it.
Yes, I do taste the apricot in there.
It's a bit stronger than the one we had last time.
It is. And if this is the white, and that was the red rosé.
Yeah, this is a little stronger. This one,
but the apricot is very beautiful.
I can feel it in the end, like there's a ting, a little singly.
It's a zing,
and it's not as bubbly. It's
no,
not bubbly.
It's not bubbly.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
He's been sending some fizzy wines for a while now, so it's good to have this.
Yeah, so Caribbean Cellars,
Caribbean Cellars is amazing.
Try it. It's different.
It's very good.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I like it.
So if you're in the mood for something fruity, not fizzy, but this it will creep up on you. If you're going in the jam,
I can feel it.
Don't knock
going
it
in the jam. You might want to say, "Can I get a Pierre Marcel white fruit wine?"
You're in there.
But what? The bartender who? And like that one. Hit them up for all your needs, drink wise. They're the go-to. They're at least one of the go-tos for all your drink needs.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we're gonna come to an end, the part that everybody doesn't like, but I mean, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Ladies, let's give it up again for our lovely venue, Harbor View Marina. We're here. If you hear anything in the background, we apologize because we're on an island.
Life is happening. Let's just put it that way.
We're on an island. This is what happens when you're living in paradise.
The waves, the seas
laid
right
back.
there. It's awesome.
Yes.
Chilling.
And again, we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Umi, Beautiful by Jazine, She Likes VI.
Yes.
Shout out. I'm wearing Umi.
I'm wearing Umi too. And they're wearing Beautiful by
Jazine
and She Likes.
So all the information about how to get in touch with these entrepreneurs, we will provide that for you. Also, our awesome production team behind the camera, they make sure that we're on point, that we look good, and we stay on time.
Oh my gosh,
because time is so critical. I'm never on time. So again, all your reviews, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. On Another Note, like our Facebook page, be in contact with us for all our up and coming episodes. But you know, you ain't gotta go home, but we got to go. Remix. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers. Woo.